what do you call it? Like a hot plate? What do you call it? No. When you get the 4 squares.
What?
It's they do that on sports, like on sports all the time.
I don't know. Does it have a name?
They have it. It has a name. Yeah, it's like hot plate. No, not hot plate.
Hot stove.
Hot stove, maybe. Yeah, like a hot stove.
Hot stove refers to like Major League Baseball specifically. I think, but I don't know. Maybe
is it like the hot? Is it 4 people talking? Like.
No, hot stove is like trade rumors.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong. In my head, it's just the elements of a stove.
And welcome to Rekt Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. Gained about 17 and a half pounds in the last week and a half.
Me too.
It's my cigarette smoking has crescendoed to just basically full-time smoking now. I tried to quit the other day. What I usually do is during these holiday times and anytime we're getting together with family, that's when I'll kind of start smoking again. And I had we did all the Christmases, and then I got back home, and then I stopped smoking, and then literally that same day my wife told me at the end of the day, she's like, you should probably stop smoking because you're being a real asshole today. So the next morning got a pack of cigarettes, and life has been wonderful. I'm not an asshole, and so I'm in a really tight spot here. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God! It's either your health or either your health or your marriage.
Right. I'm really being torn up both sides here.
It's a tough life. Yeah. How was your Christmas?
It was Christmassy. It was fun. Some traveling. The weather was great, so traveling was good. My kid literally threw up in the car. I think I had mentioned this during Thanksgiving. My youngest kid, we arrived to our destination for Thanksgiving, just vomited all over the inside of my car. On the way back from Christmas, so this is 2 months later, my oldest on the way home did the exact same thing, and I'm like, I have a vomit mobile now, and it's not ideal. I think I have to get a new car.
Wow.
Yeah. It's cold outside, so you can't even shampoo your car.
There's nothing.
A lot of wet wipes and a lot of.
Dude, that's the worst. If you can't get the smell out of the car, it's the worst.
It just smells like Febreze now, but I know what. It smells like Febreze, but I know what the Febreze is masking, so it's like a house of lies in my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it is what it is. It was fine though. The weather was good. Presents.
What was the best Christmas gift you got?
You know what? I tweeted it last night actually.
I saw that.
We were talking a couple of weeks ago about my favorite Christmas present being like a bag of weed my in-laws got me. Well, they followed it up a decade later with a sweet, cannabis container that has an iguana on it smoking a joint, and it says marijuana on it. And I thought that was pretty fun. So now that's kind of where we put our the pot we're currently using. So I'll kind of refill that as need be, like a cookie jar.
That's cool. What was the best gift you gave?
I got my wife. She's been on. Are you familiar with the song "Moonlight Desires" by Gowan? It's an old '80s song. You might be aware. I'm going to put it in right here. It was
No, I'm not familiar.
It's a Canadian like 80s pop icon, kind of think like Corey Hart. Sunglasses at night kind of stuff. Anyways,
Yep.
So I ended up getting her a signed copy of that record, and she'd been looking for it forever and couldn't find it. And I had some connections at the local record store, and they hooked me up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she was very excited, and I said I couldn't find it, and I played it out like, oh, I couldn't find, but I got you something else, and I hope you like it, but I'm not sure if you're gonna like it, and blah blah blah, and give her the old misdirection.
That's cool. What
about yourself? What was the best thing you got?
Best thing I got. I got a very cool. So as you know, I'm a Penn State alum. And
we are.
Yep, we are indeed. The coolest thing my wife got me, so we were talking about it before, I'm kind of a collector of sports memorabilia and stuff like that, and she got me this really cool old Coca-Cola bottle from when Penn State won the national championship in 1982, and it's got Penn State 1982 national champions on it, and it says Coke and the Nittany Lions #1. It's got the Penn State university crest on it, and then on the back it has the schedule and everything and all the games and the schedule and that stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, something I didn't ask for. That was a very thoughtful gift, so I thought that was pretty cool. Best thing I gave my wife a new iPhone 11. She needed an upgrade desperately. She had an old 6.
Yeah, that's a big jump. That's almost like a double jump. She almost doubled the amounts there.
Yes, exactly. So it was high time she got a new one. So that's what she got for Christmas.
That's exciting.
That's her big gift. Yes. So those were mine, but that was an unplanned segment we just did there. So there you go. But anyway, so yeah, that's Christmas. This is our last show our official last show of 2019. So with that, let's get into the news. All right, Chamber, start us off.
Okay, I got some hot news, hot off the press from the Block Crypto.
Oh my God, hot news!
Hot news. China could soon have its first blockchain ETF. Chinese asset management firm Penghua Fund, with over 80 billion in client assets, has filed an application for listing of a blockchain exchange-traded fund, ETF, in the country. China's Securities Regulatory Commission, CSRC, the country's financial watchdog, is currently reviewing Penghua's application, according to the information from the CSRC website. If the watchdog approves Penghua's fund, dubbed Penghua Shenzhen Stocks Blockchain ETF, China will have its first blockchain-themed fund, according to a report from Shanghai Securities News. Headquartered in Shenzhen, Penghua has over 564 billion yuan, which is roughly just under $81 billion US, in assets under management, and manages 159 public funds, 10 national social insurance investment portfolios, and 4 basic pension insurance investment portfolios, according to the information from its website. Just last week, Shenzhen Stock Exchange launched a blockchain 50 index, which is comprised of the top 50 blockchain-related stocks by market cap. The index currently has companies from several sectors, including Ping An Bank, an internet firm, Wholeeasy. I don't know. It looks like whole and easy put together, which invested 80 million in Bitcoin miners last year. Elsewhere in the world, there are at least 7 blockchain ETFs operating currently, including Invesco Elwood Fund, listed on the London Stock Exchange. In June, the block analyzed the performance of that ETF and found that their value surged sharply between January to May of this year. So look at that. China may have an ETF before before North America. Or I guess maybe I have one in Canada, actually. I think
You do have one?
I think so. I think there is. But,
Wait a second, really?
I think so. There's definitely something on the market with blockchain and Bitcoin, I think, currently in the TSX.
So wait a second. Does that mean I win my bold prediction?
Maybe. I mean, this is chamber news. This is questionable at best.
Yeah, but even if China does it, do I qualify? I guess I didn't specify in the U.S., but I think that would right?
I think that would qualify for sure.
It does?
China? China's,
yeah,
I would say,
think
more
China,
important than the U.S.
I think China would count.
I would agree. That's a lot of bucks coming in there from overseas. So yes, I would absolutely count China's ETF
as winning that.
Yeah, 100%. Hundo P, if you will.
Hundo P. Hundo P, baby. Speaking of, actually, while we are on the subject, I never got around to tweeting the rest of them out, so I will do that today. But we had our first couple polls go out on our bold predictions for next year. So in case you didn't hear the last episode, one, fuck you. Two, the ones we did send out, I think we did 5 predictions and I tweeted out 2 of them. So the 2020 Bitcoin dominance on December 31st, 2020, yours was 48%, mine was 60%. The people voted and I won by a vote of 53% to 47%.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Yep. And then the other one that went out was market cap. The market cap on December 31st, 2020, you said 700 billion. I said 300 billion. You won that one.
A lot of bulls out there.
Another close margin, 52% to 48%.
Ooh, that was tight, yeah.
Yeah, so both of those were within, a couple percentage points of each other. So I'll tweet out the other ones today. And by the way, what was our number one most downloaded that we released Friday?
Oh, Mark Yusko.
Yeah, so congratulations to our friend Mark, whose Notre Dame Fighting Irish won their bowl convincingly the other day. So that was good. All right, I got a news story here as well, also from the Block Crypto. Crypto exchange BitThumb.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I know you are not convinced.
I'm not convinced. There's not enough T's to equate BitThumb, but...
Yes, but here's the thing, right? It has a B on the end.
Yeah.
So it can't be BitHum.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
No, I mean, that's... Okay, then it's by thumb?
Hey, I mean, I think that is more. I think that's better than BitHum.
I think we have to go with the what is that? Colloquial? Is that the term?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, well, I'm good with I'm sorry, BitThumb? Is that what we're calling it? Okay, yeah. Well, I'll call it that from now on. I'm good.
Like Charlie bit my finger.
Right.
BitThumb.
Got you.
All right. So crypto exchange BitThumb hit with a massive tax bill of over $69 million. So South Korea's largest cryptocurrency exchange, which is BitThumb, has been hit with a hefty tax bill of 80.3 billion won, which is roughly $69.5 million. They reported on Monday saying their largest shareholder, Vidente Co., confirmed the tax claim in a regulatory filing Friday. South Korea's taxation authority, the National Tax Service, has reported levied withholding tax on BitThumb's foreign customers' income. So the NTS has categorized the exchange's cryptocurrency trading of foreigners as miscellaneous income, recognizing capital gains from crypto trading as assets. Ouch. Yeah, so BitThumb, it says, is planning on taking legal action, and therefore the final payment to the NTS may be subject to change as per the report. So basically they said, hey, all your foreign customers that are using this, that qualifies as miscellaneous income, and it's capital gains.
Woo.
So, yeah, that's rough. The last year, NTS hit BitThumb with a tax bill of around 30 billion won, which is $28 million dollars at the time. Not clear if they had paid that. The block has reached out to BitThumb, and they haven't commented yet. Other cryptocurrency exchanges in Korea, Upbit and Coin1 are also on alert over the unexpected taxes from the government. So, I mean, that's a big jump. If they were expecting what they paid last year at, 28 million to go to almost 70.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That is tough.
Real tough. I mean, do exchanges even have that kind of cash lying around anymore?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is slim pickings out there.
Wow. Anyway, yeah. So that's my story number 2. What do you think?
I mean, I think they should be able to cover that, no problem. But
it still sucks. I mean,
it's triple.
It's unexpected.
It's triple what they were anticipating, and they accrue for that over the year, right? So, I mean, as any business would, you accrue for your taxes. So, meaning you plan for X amount, and when it comes in at triple the amount you've anticipated, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what do you got for us?
I got another one here. So this is from a new site. I don't know if it's as reputable or what, but we're gonna use it. This is from newsbtc.com. This goes on to say the analyst who called Bitcoin's crash to 6K says Ethereum, the bottom is in for Ethereum. So he goes on to say here, take one look at the Bitcoin chart, and you would assume that Ethereum, XRP, and all the rest have had a great 2019 too. But you would be sorely mistaken in saying that, per previous reports from NewsBTC. Since earlier this month, the price of ETH is actually down in 2019, which comes as a stark contrast to Bitcoin's 95% year-to-date gains. This harrowing price trend has been attributed to a confluence of factors, one such being that the Plus token wallet scam that brutalized many in the industry has a large portion of ETH that is being or will be liquidated, making investor price that potential selling off. So a little bit scary there. People are a little bit hesitant. Whatever the case, a prominent cryptocurrency analyst that has had a solid track record has said that the technicals suggest that Ethereum has found its bottom and potentially setting the stage for a return to a bull trend. Has it really bottomed? According to the recent tweet from technical analyst Dave the Wave, I don't know if you follow this guy.
This is the news story we're talking about. Some guy named Dave the Wave.
Dave the Wave called 6K bottom. I'm just saying.
Oh, Dave the Wave.
So as per Dave, and that's at Dave, no E, so it's DAV. The Wave. He noted that the Bitcoin was gonna bottom at 6K, and he said in this chart that ETH recently bounced off of the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level of the price action from 2018 bottom to the 2019 bottom, while the moving average convergence divergence. Wow, that's the MACD, for those of you traders out there, has shown signs of reversal on a medium-term basis, boding well for bulls. So this guy, Dave the Wave, has actually called the bottom for Bitcoin. He's calling the bottom for ETH, but he actually called, I think this is the same guy who called Bitcoin being at 100K in 2022. So, I don't know. This guy is you're right a couple of times. I think that's what happens in crypto. You make a couple of good calls, all of a sudden you're
you're Dave the Wave.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're the next Dave the Wave. But you can make bad calls too, and his notoriety could fall by the wayside as well. So, what do you think? You think the bottom's in for ETH? What's your general feel on Ethereum?
So let's see. Hold on. Where are we at an ETH price right now?
I think we're $1.30.
I will tell you in just a moment.
But yeah, I think I seen it at 130.
Yeah, 130.74.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could probably go to 100-ish. I mean, I think I saw Ledger tweet the other day that last call for BTC ETH pair, so like it was on the brink of breaking down. So, I don't know. Me, I'm not a fantastic trader, so I couldn't really tell you. But I think, what did we see as a low of this year? Like in the 80s, 89?
I don't know if that was either late last year or early this year, but yeah, I think we touched $80.
Oh, it must have been last year then, because like they just said that news story just said it was down this year, right? Right.
Yeah, I think it was late. I think you could pick up some ETH maybe in like November of 2019 or 2018.
That's a low price.
That was. At $1.30 seems like a pretty good price too. But time will tell.
I don't know. I'm not buying anything but Bitcoin at the moment, so I take that for what you will. But
it's called a smart move.
Yeah, I know, but like, is it? There's a lot of stuff that's really priced cheaply if you think in terms of where obviously it was. Like even I hate to say it, but like even XRP at 19 cents doesn't look terrible. You're like, okay, under 20 cents now, you might pay attention a little bit.
Absolutely, right?
I don't know. I think so. But everything kind of seems to be pretty stable at the moment. Not a lot of volatility.
Well, I think I forget who said it.
3, 4, 5% every couple of days isn't what I would call volatile in crypto.
No, I agree. Yeah. But somebody had said, I forget where I heard it, but basically somebody said like, we're back to 2016 again. So if you just think of it in those terms, like that's like everything was, at the bottom or, just starting out. And then, we'll see where. Not everything's going to take off. Some things may, and some things will just disappear entirely. But
you'd figure, though, like if there is another bull market coming, there is still room for these top 10s to grow. Comparatively to what they were.
100%.
Fucking Litecoin was $420 or at some point. Like,
I know what point. The point where I bought it.
Right. So, like, that's, you're talking a 10x potentially from from where it is right now.
Actually, Litecoin is one of those that I'm iffy on. You know what I mean?
Well, I would agree, but like,
but if XRP, I'm not a.
But if there is new money coming in, right?
Yeah.
People are going to look to buy the if there's new money that have never done any of this before, right? Like, what did you do? You bought the top 10, right? Like
I did,
because you didn't know about these $2 million market.
It didn't take
coins.
long for me to figure it out.
Right, but you know what I mean. It's like, okay, 100%. You don't really know.
No,
some of these are not on huge exchanges either. So like, you're going to be looking at XRP. That's a top 3 coin. It's only 19 cents.
Yep.
It's the same shit everybody does.
I can buy a bunch of it. You know what I mean? As opposed to a fraction of a Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, all that stuff. If there is ever new money coming. Which remains to
I feel
be
100% sure that new money will come in. Like,
yeah,
I'm very confident, I think. I think I am. That's not very confident to say, though.
All right. I've got one more here, which I think we can qualify as celebrity sighting.
Oh, yeah. We absolutely can.
So we got a celebrity sighting here. Back in the news from CoinDesk is Russell Okung, who is the Super Bowl champion left tackle. He currently plays for the Los Angeles Chargers, who is a passionate advocate of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, and he's the founder of a Bitcoin company called Bitcoin Is, or I'm not sure if it's a company. I think it was a conference that he put together.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yes, so this is kind of more of an opinion piece, but I think it's interesting to talk about. You know, we've seen more and more dabbling into the sports realm recently, and so Russell Okung is kind of leading that way for athletes. Who was the NBA guy we talked about that was trying to tokenize his contract?
Oh, it was Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that, and then there's this, right? So he's the self-proclaimed Bitcoin guy in the locker room.
Yep.
So he says he gets ridicule and intrigue from that. His teammates are understandably curious about why he's into #magic internet money. But he says he's focused on finding a solution that can be immediately implemented without first gaining permission or proving my abilities or articulating a worthiness of my peers as skeptics. So, he's all about this decentralized, he calls Bitcoin that solution. It allows me to provide, all of these decentralized permissionless things that he's looking for. So it says here, by this point in my professional career, I've learned that economic power isn't as straightforward as simply having money. Optics and circumstances often dictate how economic power is understood and how it's wielded. For instance, winning the lottery may put $100 million in your pocket, but it doesn't suddenly make you a financial expert. Similarly, being born into wealth may give you unearned financial freedom, but your peers will be skeptical of that wealth until you demonstrate an aptitude towards to steward it properly. So he goes on to say, Bitcoin is a direct threat to that economic power. He says he's puzzled when the financial circumstances of professional athletes, especially black athletes, are viewed with optics similar to the lottery winner or the silver spooner. It's confusing when our economic power isn't more naturally compared to traditional entrepreneur who demonstrated the same gumption and exerted their similar energy into their own field with dedication, sacrifice, long hours, and hyper focus on the end goal. So he's talking about the way that Bitcoin helps him kind of separate these stigmas, I guess. Mm-hmm. He says he's playing his role in raising awareness, shamelessly encouraging professional athletes to embrace Bitcoin. He says professional athletes committed themselves to becoming elite workers in their industry, investing significant human capital to earn their place in society. Bitcoin offers a way to protect that hard-earned capital from the whims of central bankers who keep printing more money to bail out their friends on Wall Street. It's time for us to embrace our economic sovereignty by allocating at least 5% of our wealth into Bitcoin. I'm personally much more invested in the asset, but my goal here is to simply get you off of zero. Of course, I want to see the price go up, but I gain nothing else by trying to make you a believer. I think it's important to let you know now so you don't blame me down the line when the price skyrockets and global recession is no longer deniable. Interesting. What do you think?
You know what? I always get... I know we're big sports fans, you and I. We've seen a lot of athletes mismanage money over the years.
Yeah, there was an awesome 30 for 30 on...
I think
it was just called Broke.
I don't think I saw
it was
that
just
one.
called Broke.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it was all about all these huge, athletes that had made hundreds of millions.
Right, like the Latrell Sprewells of the world and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So and again, this is not me pointing the finger saying, you guys don't know how to manage your money. I don't know how to manage my own freaking money for that. You know what I mean? So I'm in the same boat. And could you imagine if you had a $20 million a year contract? How poorly you would mismanage your funds then.
I'm broke every week.
Right. So I'm always worried about, athletes. Again, this is, I'm just speaking in realistic terms, typically don't have the education, financial backgrounds and education to manage money properly. I know there's a lot of, I know when rookies come into, most leagues, I think they have some sort of program in place to help with that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I'm always a little worried about who they surround themselves with, who's managing their money, this and that. So when I do hear of athletes going, diving into Bitcoin and stuff, I have question marks right away. But the more I read about them, the more confident I get in him. And actually most of the athletes I hear talking about, blockchain and Bitcoin and stuff. Obviously, who's the boxer that got into it? Maybe that wasn't the best idea for him, but I want to say it was over a year ago.
Boxer that got into what?
Bitcoin. He was talking. Remember, he started a shitcoin and everything. I forget who it was. Anyways, but the more I hear about,
wasn't it Oscar De La Hoya?
Was it Oscar De La Hoya? It wasn't.
I remember him having something to do with the token, or was it? Yeah, I think it was Oscar.
And boxers, as a rule, I mean, like these people that get hit in the head so much. I mean, you really should be questioning their decisions. But yeah, the more I read about Russell, the more. Okay, like he knows what he's talking about. He knows more than me. So I feel like he's pretty, and same thing with Spencer Dinwiddie too. These guys seem to have a pretty good grasp on what's happening. And good for them to see, like he had mentioned the 5%. And obviously he said he's a little more involved in 5% of his income, but I think that's a smart play. If you're telling your teammates and stuff that, hey, you know what? Is it going to hurt if you allocate 5% of your net income to some Bitcoin exposure? I don't think that's a bad idea at all. And that could turn out to pay huge dividends for these guys. So I like it. The more I hear about it, the more I like it.
One more thing I just wanted to touch on while we're on sports. I had sent you this the other day, I think, and we were actually going to try to get somebody on. So the sports card industry is interesting for blockchain and stuff. We've seen, some people dabble in digital collectibles and things like that. Mm-hmm. But Panini America, so they have, they are one of the world's largest licensed sports and entertainment collectibles company. They make a ton of different sports cards, NFL, NBA, things like that. They are becoming the first to launch a collection of officially licensed trading cards featuring blockchain technology. So I think it's actually launching next week. So they're going to, how it's going to work is pretty interesting. They're going to, it says here, Panini's blockchain trading cards will launch in early January on PaniniAmerica.net and will be sold in auction format in US dollars as opposed to a digital currency, with 10 cards being released each week. I think they're doing a total of 100 cards. The blockchain asset will live on a closed Panini platform where sports fans and collectors can buy, sell, and store their blockchain trading card assets. Each card is a unique, one-of-a-kind card that not only includes the blockchain digital asset, but will be accompanied by a physical version of the card that includes an autograph of the respective player, and in some cases will incorporate a piece of memorabilia. The blockchain asset will be an exact representation of the physical version of that card. That's pretty cool.
I'm a big fan of this. I like collectibles. I like the more times people talk about collectibles on the blockchain, it gets me excited. I think it's pretty cool.
So there's one more quote here. We've spent years researching and exploring the best possible way to incorporate blockchain into our trading cards as another level of authentication, as well as the best way to introduce blockchain to sports fans and collectors. We believe our platform and the fact that the cards will be sold in US dollars rather than a digital currency will help fans and collectors have a better understanding, knowing that their cards will utilize blockchain blockchain as another level of authenticity. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, we've seen what I think is cool about this is it's kind of twofold, right? I think the big thing is, all right, well, will anybody that collects things really care about a digital asset, right? But it comes with a physical version of the same
right, exactly.
card, which
so
is
why
really cool.
You? Yeah.
So, and I mean, there's so many things that blockchain can do for, like, memorabilia specifically, as far as tracking it, authenticating it, all of that kind of stuff. You know, you could potentially see every past price that it was ever sold for, if it ever trades hands. You know, it's pretty cool. So that's going to happen in the next coming weeks here. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because it's something I'm interested in. So I'll keep you updated on. I think there's going to be a Zion autograph card that's going out there.
Who?
And yeah, right. And like some people were saying, well, we'll see. Is that what you think?
I don't know. He has, in my opinion, has to lose 30 pounds minimum.
Well, dude, he's like 280.
Right. I mean, minimum 30 pounds. He is too big. It's like when you put I'm not a car guy, but imagine putting like a V12 engine in like a compact car. You know what I mean? Like his engine is bigger than his body it's too much for his body, and there's so much impact. It's gonna break. It's just gonna. There's too much torque in his body, and he blew out of his shoe in college. Anybody not remember that? Like, he literally exploded his shoes from the amount of power he generates, and his body's not equipped to handle it. So he needs to be much, much lighter in order to deal with the amount of power he has.
Interesting. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, he hasn't played a game yet. He's hurt, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
But they're saying, anyway, back to this. They're saying, though, that the auction for this card could go over $100,000.
I could see it. I could see that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
I mean, I wouldn't be paying for it, but I could see it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. So I will keep an eye on that. We were trying to get somebody on from Panini to talk about this, which would be cool. So we'll keep working on that and see what we can do. But that's going to do it for us for news. We are doing a new segment today, similar to our old one called No FOMO. We are going Rekt to the future.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
All right, Chamber. Tell us what this segment is.
So, like you've mentioned, it's kind of like our No FOMO segment where we picked our, top 3 like overperforming coins and took a little bit more of a deep dive on them. This time, Rekt to the Future is your great name for this one, and I think it's very apropos. These are bags that I have purchased recently.
That you have purchased.
I am involved in these. So this is a public
disclaimer. Public PSA up front.
Absolutely. Public service announcements. Don't get into these because I am involved in them. You are only saving yourself. But yeah, and I think maybe the idea would be to try to convince you that this is a good, a good purchase. I'm questioning every move I make these days, so I don't know how convincing I'm going to be. So do you want to start it off, or how do we want to make this? I gave you all of the coins.
Yeah, we're going to do this just like we do No FOMO.
Okay.
So I am sitting here on, you have given me the 3 that you have recently bought.
Yeah.
So I also want, at the end of this, I'm going to ask you what your
entry price?
Let's call it. No, I want to like your confidence level. Like,
okay.
Out of 10 stars,
okay,
or like
all right.
out of 10 bags.
Okay.
Like
all
out
right,
of 10 bags.
I like that.
Let's do a rating out of 10 bags.
Okay.
And then we'll also so that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Because I want your confidence level in these, so we can give some sort of context to how involved you really might be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. So the first one here is called Ferrum Network. The ticker is FRM. M. The current price is for the day, it's down 2.38%. It is 0.006 USD, so less than a penny, 0.6 of a penny, I would guess. So this is ranked the 925 on coin market cap. So the current market cap is under $1 million.
Yeah,
interesting. So current market cap $736,000. The 24-hour volume, $366,000. So more than half of its current volume or current market cap in volume. So that's interesting. The circulating supply is 106 billion FRM. The total supply is 329 billion. So just over a third total in circulating supply at the moment. Let's see. Its all-time high was basically 1 cent. Basically 1 cent, and then the all-time low was 0.002 cents. Interesting. All right, so let's see. Where can I find this? Markets. It is available on BitMax. For a USDT pair, which is about 59% of its volume, and then the BTC pair, about 40% of its volume. But I'm guessing you bought this on IDEX.
I sure did.
Which it is also listed, and I only know this because I also saw your tweet the other day that said, "Am I the only asshole trading in ETH pairs?"
Yeah, exactly.
So, for those of you who may not know, IDEX is only in ETH pairs. It is so only 2.5% of its total volume is done there. So you're a 2%er over there.
That's all right. I think that's all me.
Related cryptocurrencies are Boom, Zippy, whatever the hell that is, Dimecoin, Acropolis, and Orbit Coin.
I don't know any of these.
Yeah, and it just says Ferrum Network describes itself as an ultra-low cap DeFi project with an advanced financial products that will run on top of a DAG-based interoperability network. All right, tell me what I missed.
So DAG, I don't know if you're familiar with DAG as well.
Yes,
like
it's similar to like what IOTA does with their... Yes.
So, and then DAG is a very popular project right now. So this kind of, it's interoperable with that. Again, my big thing is like get into some, I think you said it was about 784 million, or pardon me, 784,000 market cap.
736. Yeah.
So like a reasonably priced house.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of looking for. But yes, I did buy it on IDEX. And yeah, it's got
what do you like about it?
It's got some, some partnerships that I like. It's got some, the roadmap is into, the end of 2020, which is something not a lot of projects are doing. A lot of roadmaps ended like Q1 2019. So they're still working. They have staking. They have products like the Unifier wallet, which I like. They have products like Cootie Exchange, which I like. And it just seems to have like a good team behind it. Like I said, you can, I don't know if I mentioned, you can stake with it as well. So there's staking involved. So any of these, there's some good things behind it, as far as, what you can do with it, right? So wallets, staking, partnerships with, here, like some of the partners and backers, Dash, Gemini, P-Chain, and then the fact that it's interoperable with DAG. So when I trade, and I mean, this is probably not great advice, but I go with, as opposed to technical, I go with, market sentiment, right? Like what is the market saying? What are some of these traders saying? And when DAG has been a, huge, a huge thing, I'd say, in 2019. A lot of people are talking about it. And so if you have other small projects associated with it that are a fraction of the market cap, to me, that looks like a opportunity. Again, I'm probably wrong, and I'm probably, again, this is a public service announcement for those of you guys looking at it. So obviously do your research. But yeah, in my opinion, it looked like something that could be promising.
All right, so interesting there. Now, give us your confidence rating out of 10 bags. Out of 10
bags, I would say I'm an 8 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah,
So wait, all right. Wait, now, what are you? Let's clarify. What is going into your bag rating here?
It's like I said. It's market sentiment with what it's associated with. So again, just the DAG stuff. The fact that you can stake. The fact that it's again the price of a reasonably priced home in a big market city.
Yeah. Not a ton of downside from a market cap standpoint.
Exactly, and doesn't have a ton of places to purchase, so no big exchanges yet. So I'm not saying it's going to be on Binance next week, but minimal areas to purchase it. So I think that always, again, like I said, I just work more with the potential of a coin and the market sentiment of some of its collaborators and the like. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. I think with a sub $1 million market cap and definitely some positive, there's definitely a positive feeling about it in the crypto community. I think that could be some big things there.
All right, I like that. All right, now your next one here, let's go into is something called Coti.
All right.
COTI. That is the name of the project as well as the ticker. The current price is 0.0093 cents USD. 0.0093 cents. So just under a penny. It is currently up 1.73% today. It is the 706th rank, so a little higher than your last one, which was in the 925 area. Market cap a little higher also, so 1.7 million. 24-hour volume 550,000. Circulating supply 181 billion, and the total supply is 2 trillion. Is that right?
I think so, yes.
Wow. Okay, so a lot of it is not circulating yet. All right. So related cryptocurrencies: SpectraCoin, Radium, Credo, Swarm, and Winding Tree, whatever the hell that is. The all-time high, was actually 12 cents on July 2nd. The all-time low was 0.006 cents on November 9th, so a little rebound from there. And then about Coti here. Coti is an enterprise-grade fintech platform that enables cross-chain interoperability and is built on its own DAG-based chain. Wow, you're a big DAG guy. All right, we're getting a look into Chambers' soul here. It supports scalability and low transaction costs and is supplemented with payment-specific requirements in the form of Coti Pay, a digital payment solution. Coti Pay empowers enterprises and merchants to receive multiple payment methods and build their own payment networks and coin as a service. Wow, coin as a service. That is something I've never heard of. All right. Let's see where it's available. Coin as a service is something I want you to explain to me during this, because I've never heard of such a thing. Market pairs. We have, again, BitMax. Do you have a BitMax account?
I don't. Or do I? Maybe I do. I definitely didn't buy it on BitMax, though.
Okay, so BitMax, Coti USD, Coti BTC, 29% and 19% respectively. KuCoin, you're a big KuCoin guy.
Big KuCoin guy.
15%, 11%. BitThumb Global, 9%, 8% of the volume. And then Binance DEX, 0.45%. All right, You're on. Tell me about Cody.
So I did buy this on KuCoin. Which, you know what, I went away from KuCoin for a while, but I've refound my relationship with it lately. It's still
all right, fair
still
enough.
working well. But yeah, this is again, I just go with market sentiment. A lot of traders that have made good calls are talking about this one. This one actually got a lot of press a couple of weeks ago when Binance was having their community. They have like a community contest where they'll peg two coins against each other. Whoever wins gets listed on Binance. And there was some shenanigans happening. I forget who the competitor was, but it was Cody versus this other one. And, the bots took over and it tanked the price. So I picked up some more, and it rebounded very, very nicely. But yeah, these bots got in and voted for the other one, and that got listed on Binance. So this could be one that, could be listed on Binance in the future.
So is this for you, like now we've seen two out of three of these are the DAG style coins. Is that you believing in DAG? Is that you seeing that a trend in sentiment for such a thing?
Exactly. I'm looking for the trend. I do my trading a little differently. I look at what positive momentum is happening, who's talking about it. So I'm always, I do use Twitter a lot. So I'll check cash tags and see what the sentiment is. How many people are calling it a scam? How many people are, pushing it? What's the variety of people pushing it? What are the people that are pushing it? What have they pushed in the past, and have they been successful? So those are the kind of things I look at. Because a lot of these people do a hell of a lot more research than I do. So I'm kind of, using the entire, the entire community to, test the waters and see what could be, a good buy, considering where, the market cap is. Again, this is a mid cap for me at 1.7 million. But yeah, it's, that's kind of what I do. Is I utilize that, and obviously DAG was extremely popular and still is very popular. So I kind of piggyback.
So
on a lot of that.
Do you know about DAG? Like what? First of all, do you know what DAG stands for?
No, I don't.
Can you take a guess?
Digital asset generator. I don't know.
It stands for directed acyclic graph.
Boom! There it is.
So, for those of you who didn't know, that's what DAG stands for. And it essentially is different than a blockchain. So, DAG and blockchain are technically two different things, right? So, your DAG, if you were to look at it, doesn't look like a chain, right? So, It looks more like a graph. And it actually, some of these projects out there are saying it's more of an effective structure for storing data and processing online transactions. So some people are saying, that the DAG model improves security and usability, and also makes, these transactions and these networks more scalable. And so that's kind of what DAG is for anybody who doesn't know. So a couple other ones running based on the DAG model. I mentioned IOTA, Nano, Obyte or Byteball is another one. So people say it has the potential to become potentially blockchain 3.0.
Right. That's what you see a lot. You see, 1.0 being Bitcoin, 2.0 Ethereum, and then DAG being 3.0.
Yeah, so interesting. Do you know anything about this coin as a service?
Yeah. I mean, I have, again, you'd mentioned the idea would be to use as a payment processing through multi-chain, which I think, again, just
so like I could set up my own payment network.
Exactly. Yeah. So you would have.
That's kind of interesting.
It is pretty. I think this one has bigger, but like so out of the three that we're going to talk about, I think this one has the ability to become kind of the most widely popular, I think, out of the three.
All right, so give me your bag rating.
That being said, again, bag rating, I gave you an 8 on the last one. Potential X's come into play with this as well. So with Ferrum, I was a little bit more, I think there's more possibility just because I think there's more X's involved, if you know what I mean, like multipliers as far as what I've invested in.
For you to hit the home run because it's got a $700,000.
Exactly. With Ferrum, I feel like, remember Quant? That's
yes.
I have that same feeling with Ferrum, so a little bit more excited. With Cody, I would say it's a 7. So just because the market cap's a little bit bigger, it's in more places currently.
But you think, as far as stability of this project,
I think that one has the ability. Like this could be a top 100. Yeah. Like what did we say was that now? Like 400 maybe?
No, 7.
Oh, 7. Like this could be maybe hundreds, maybe like top 200. But I think maybe even top 100. I think this could be one of those ones.
Okay, so we got one more here. Mm-hmm. So we got an 8 bag rating from Ferrum, a 7 bag rating from Cody. We are now on the last one here, the 457th ranked cryptocurrency on Coin Market Cap. We are talking the XinFin network, something I've never heard of. So for it to be 457, that's pretty high, I would think. So the ticker is XDCE. It is currently priced at 0.001 US dollars, so 1/10 of a penny. It has a current market cap of 4 million, a 24-hour volume of roughly 300,000, a circulating supply of 3.9 trillion.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And a total supply of 15 trillion.
Yeah.
So about 20% of its total supply is out in circulation currently. Related cryptocurrency is FNB Protocol, Viacoin, Highcoin, Rocket Pool, and Kasha.
Ooh.
All-time high, not to be confused with Kesha.
No, different.
All-time high was 1.9 cents in April 2018. Interesting. All-time low was this past June at 0.000157 USD. Wow. That's about as close to zero as you could possibly come. Holy crap. All right. So, and then it says here, XinFin describes itself as an enterprise-ready hybrid blockchain technology company optimized for international trade and finance. XinFin network is powered by the native coin. The XDC protocol is architected to support small contracts, KYC, and masternodes. XDC chain, it uses the XinFin delegated proof of stake with the goal of creating a highly scalable, secure, permissioned, and commercial grade blockchain network. TradeFinex.org is a network for trade finance originators to distribute trade assets to alternative asset investors using decentralized and P2P financing technology. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're on.
So this one, I'm looking.
Oh, wait. Yep. I missed one thing. The markets.
Oh, right.
So, this is actually listed on the most variety of exchanges. So, number one exchange is Mercatox, with an ETH pair at 41% of its volume, Hotbit at 8% for the USDT, 7% for its ETH pair, P2P, B2B. Come on, that's not an exchange. 7% of its volume, Hotbit, BTC pair, 7%, Cost, Bancor, LA token, IDEX. I'm guessing you bought this on IDEX.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I love me some IDEX. So I thought, and I can't seem to find it anywhere, I thought it had an association with XRP, and either they're hiding it, so as not to be, or they aren't. But I always thought they had an affiliation with XRP for some reason. So I might be incorrect there. But yes, one of those big, what did we say? How many trillion in total supply? It was a big number.
15
trillion. Yeah. So one of these protocols that has a ton of coins associated with it. But yes, I like this one. It actually came in. It has a lot of partnerships with governments currently. I forget all of them off the top of my head, but very popular in Europe. And just that it's one of those ones where if we're going to incorporate these in kind of the corporate world, this is kind of the one that I like a lot, especially if it's happening in Europe where the regulations maybe are a little better. But yes, very fast micropayments. I think it can do up to, I'll tell you right now, the transactions per second were ridiculously fast. So like up to 2,000 plus transactions per second, very low fees, like 0.0001 fees per transaction, confirmation within seconds. So super fast. That's why I thought it had something to do with XRP, but I might be wrong. I still think it is. I'll have to do some more research on that. But yes, very lightning quick. This would be great for the business world, for finance, and it is being used currently. And it's, again, the market cap is not massive, and if it is affiliated with XRP, we know what that community can be like. We could see it being pushed higher. I think the opportunity here is still pretty good. Again, just finding those projects that have a lot of not a lot of downside, but a ton of upside. I think that's one of these. So as far as my bag level, out of 10, this one's more likely probably a 6 for me. If I see a quick, if it pops, I'll probably get out of my position. And maybe the other ones I'd sell off maybe a portion and still keep some for the old moon bag. But this one I think would be more of a wait for that big move and then maybe completely out.
Interesting. So we actually, I didn't know this is what we were doing, but we actually went in order of confidence.
Yeah.
So we got an 8, 7, and a 6. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Rekt to the future.
Yeah. I apologize to all these projects for fucking you over, but I bought some of your stuff. Which can only mean one thing.
The old chamber kiss of death.
Like, you come to me. I apologize in advance for ruining the careers of many people involved in these projects with my kiss of death.
That's really funny. All right. So we have one more little segment here that we've been doing a few times lately, and it's called The Last Time You.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
All right, Chamber, you got a story for us with this?
I do. This happened a couple of days ago. I'd mentioned at the top of the show I started smoking, so I'm outside of my house a little bit more. I'd say since mid-December. And I've been noticing, I live on a little crescent.
First of all, nobody in the U.S. calls it that.
Do you not? I didn't want to answer anybody. But do you guys not have crescents?
I'm sure we do, but I don't think I've ever heard it referred to it as such.
No, but we'll have.
In your, I know what you're talking about. It's like the road comes in one side, loops around, goes out the other, just like a.
You'll have boulevard. So for example, you could live on. I don't know. Well,
is it an actual? So wait, is that an actual term for the street?
Yeah. So for example, you could live on. Well, I'll just use cryptocurrencies, but you could live on Bitcoin Street or Bitcoin Avenue or
Bitcoin Crescent
or Bitcoin Crescent or Bitcoin Boulevard or Bitcoin Lane
or Bitcoin Private.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But it's my the road I live on is Bitcoin Crescent.
No, interesting.
I couldn't get over. I'm like,
heard
what,
of
did
that.
people not? Did I spell it wrong?
Okay, so I wasn't the only one.
No. Like I couldn't get like because everybody. I'm like, did I spell it wrong? Like, does anybody not use this term? So yeah, it's very. I mean, it's very common. But anyways, so it's just like it goes. You have two entrances. So it's like a little. Yeah, it's a little loop off of a main road. Anyways, so I'd be outside smoking, and this guy in his pickup truck would like bomb down the road, and I'm like, I'm an old man, okay, I yell at people all the time, but this guy was doing like, I'm trying to put it into miles an hour. I want to say like maybe like 40 miles an hour. That seems too fast, right? Down like
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I would say
in a small street.
I would say 70 kilometers an hour. So whatever that is in miles.
Okay,
So I don't know, like 45, 50 maybe up to.
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah, way too fast. Okay. So whatever, first time happens. I'm like, okay, and not ideal. I kind of give him the look, put my hands up in the air, like, what the fuck, guy? Like, come on. There's a million kids on my street. Like, you can't be driving like that. And so it happened maybe one or two more times, and I'm like, all right, this guy is upsetting me, and it's consistent. It's like every time he pulls by. So the other day I'm with my daughter, and I'm like, hey, do you want to go do some, like, do you want to be a detective with me today? Because every time we would drive by, like, I can't get his license plate number, right? Like, he's just driving too fast.
Because it's too fast.
Right. So I said, you want to be a detective with me? So I start touring around my block, and I find the truck, and I take a picture of the license plate. So I'm like, next time it happens, got the license plate right there. I'm gonna call the cops on him. I asked my daughter, I'm like, should I go talk to him myself? And she's like, well, what if you get into a fight and then you go to jail? I'm like, fair enough. She's like, maybe.
Wow, that's actually really reasonable.
Yeah. That was the first thing she said. Well, what if you get into a fight and then you end up going to jail? I'm like, all right, that's very likely outcome. So we take the picture, and she's like, are you going to call the cops? I'm like, I'm going to wait. Maybe he'll stop, And sure enough, like a day later, I'm outside having a smoke, and fires down. I'm like, that's enough. I'm done. I didn't call 911. I Googled my local police, office, and I said, hey, I don't mean to be a bother. I know you guys are very busy, but this is my problem. And they were very nice. They thanked me for, doing my job as a citizen.
An ambassador
Absolutely,
of the community.
Yeah. They were very, very nice about it. And they just asked me, like, how fast do you think he was going? Was it a male? Was it a female? And I give all my, I said, yeah, I think it's this type of vehicle. Here's the license plate. And they're like, which direction? I said he was going, southbound this way. And they thanked me, and that was it. And so that's immediately after that, I put out on Twitter, I said, hey, I just called the cops on this guy, and kind of gave the explanation. I said, am I a rat or am I a hero? And it was close, but after I was maybe 150 votes, the majority of people thought I was a hero, so I felt good about that. You, though, tweeted out you had voted rat, rightfully so.
I voted rat.
So the fun thing was, last night I'm outside having a cigarette, and he drives by at like 15 miles an hour, and I think he's looking at me. Just drives by him. I kind of look at him. I kind of give him a head nod, like, "Yep."
Wow! So you got him.
I definitely got him. I'm like, that's immediate proof that for sure the cops pulled him over, told him, you were driving way too fast down a residential area. And I don't know if he knows that it's me, but I definitely have made gestures at him driving by, and I know he probably saw me outside right before he got called pulled over by the cops. So come at me, bro.
Oh man.
So yeah,
the long arm of chamber justice.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I will tattletale on you in a blink of an eye. So watch out.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So I thought it was funny that, yes, the next time I saw him, he was creeping down the crescent very slowly.
That's fantastic. So I voted rat.
I know. Hey, I get it. I would have voted rat too. If
you would have?
Had it not been me, 100%. Yeah, you rat.
That's awesome.
I felt guilty about it. Like it's the reason there was a reason I tweeted it out. I definitely felt torn between hero or rat.
So what's the question?
The question is, when was the last time you called the cops on somebody?
On somebody.
Or call the cops if you're not a rat like me, and you don't call the 5-0 on everybody. When was the last time you needed to call the police?
I don't think I've ever called the cops on somebody.
That's not the first time I have.
Wow, really? I don't think I've ever called the cops on somebody.
No,
I don't think so.
I get angry.
But the other day, probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was driving in Pittsburgh area,
right.
And I was talking to one of my coworkers on the phone, and next thing I know, I hung up with them, and then my Siri just started going haywire by itself, and I didn't say anything, it just activated or whatever. And then next thing I know, my Bluetooth in my car is calling 911.
Really?
Yes. And so I'm panicking, trying not to crash my car, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck? So I hung up immediately, tried to hang up before before the phone picked up, because I didn't want to.
Now, as movies would tell me, I'm going out on a limb here. 911 should have called you directly back, did they?
They did, actually.
Good. Movies have not let me down.
Yes. As soon as I hung up, I got a call back from a local number. I picked up and they said, hey, we just got a call we just got an alert that you dialed 911 from your cell phone. Is everything okay? And I said, yes, I'm a dumbass. And it was on accident. And the guy said, all right, thank you.
Wow, you didn't explain it more than that? It feels like you just butt dialed 911, whereas
I did just butt dial 911. Well, I mean, what am I supposed? Why does he care if my Siri was?
I would have defended my
he doesn't give
a little bit better. I would have been like, it's not me. My phone went crazy. I think it might be possessed. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and he's gonna be like, yeah, sure.
That's funny. That's good.
Yep. So he's gonna say, sure, it did. But,
have you ever called 911 as an emergency before?
No, I've really never had to do any of that.
I definitely have a couple of times. I think the last time I called 911 was I think when my daughter got a pretty bad burn. Actually, you were telling me. I think right after we started the show. I called 911 for that, and then I remember back in high school, I was at a basketball practice, and afterwards we were fucking around and kind of spraying each other with water bottles. And I had a buddy, I'm a big dude, but I was definitely not the biggest dude on my team. I had a guy who was 6'9", 6'10", and we were chasing him down, and he starts running down the hallway. I don't know I'm sure in high schools in the U.S. have this too, but when there's glass doors and they have that the wire meshing in the glass itself. Mm-hmm. So this big 6'10" guy, I'm chasing him down. He jumps through, anticipating that both doors would fly open, and one of them was locked, and he flew through the window, and just mashed up his face, and you could hear the wires in the glass tearing out, it was so his face was messed up after that. He wasn't Leo to begin with, but he managed to be okay. But I had to call 911 because he was bleeding profusely. He had glass all up in him and stuff. But I think those are the only 2 times I had to dial 911.
Wow, that's
I'm like a hero, basically. I mean,
you are a hero. I've changed my vote.
So I'm in the case of an emergency, I am a person to have around, because I will
change my vote. You're a hero.
I will dial 911 very quickly.
Yeah.
All right, this is a long one. What do you want to do?
Yeah, we did. We went long, so that's it. Let's land this bird. We've got it all covered. That was our last show of the decade.
Wow. Where has the time gone?
Where, I can't believe when we started Bitcoin back in 2009, we would be here.
Who knew?
Here we are. Thank you again for another wonderful year of podcasting. Anything else you want to say, Chamber?
No, everybody have a happy new year. Don't drink too much or do too many drugs on New Year's Eve.
This will be our only show this week, so you can divvy this up, right? This will be our only show this week?
Yeah, I'll release it as one episode, but we'll...
And then next Tuesday, we will be releasing Andreas, correct?
Correct, sir.
All right. We are doing it. All right, man. It has been a pleasure podcasting with you in 2019. And here's to another good year to come. Thank you all for listening. And until next time, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a Rekt patron by signing up for a monthly tier on Patreon.com. That's Patreon.com/Rekt Podcast. Don't get wrecked.